All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another video. All right, y'all, so this summer's looking pretty good so far. This summer's definitely looking pretty good. 2023 overall has been looking good for WMMA. You know, we got a lot of good confirmed fights. Got a lot of good confirmed fights on the horizon. We also got a lot of good potential fights that can be made because a lot of fighters are calling out other fighters. And as fight fans, that's what we want, right? We want fighters to call out other fighters, and we want those fighters that were called out to acknowledge that fight, right? And that's what we've been getting. I mean, first off, for confirmed fights, of course, we got Nunes Aldana in a couple weeks. Then we got Wei Lee versus Lemos. That fight's on the horizon. Then we also got Verna and Tatiana. Possibly we got Casey O'Neill versus Viviana Araujo, because both of these fighters have both separately said that they have fights locked in. They didn't say they have each other to fight, but I think we can put two and two together at this point, right? So we got that fight. Then we got potential fights. You know, we got potential fights that can be made, like Manon calling out Aaron acknowledging that, and also fighters like Mackenzie Dern. You know, Mackenzie Dern's calling out Rose Namajunas. You know, she's calling out a former champion because she wants to test herself now that she's kind of made improvements and she's got that confidence back. You know, she wants to get back into that mix. You know, after that little setback with Yan Xiaonan, she wants to get right back into the mix now that she's in the mid rankings and, you know, fight a former champion to really test herself, right? Because after the fight with Angela Hill, which she pretty much dominated, pretty much beat Angela Hill up in that fight. I mean, dominant victory this past Saturday over Angela Hill, who's usually seen as a very durable, awkward striker, and can, you know, she can kind of make a fighter look ugly in there. You know, style-wise, she can make some fighters look a little ugly in there with what she presents. But Mackenzie Dern, she wasn't having that. And that's the one thing I can say about Mackenzie Dern. That no quit in her will take her to another level. The no quit, the recklessness, just enough recklessness in her, and the durability of Mackenzie Dern really can, you know, make these fighters just fold. And that's what Angela Hill did in this fight. You know, she was kind of shook up from the power, and, you know, she was just dominated on the ground by a much bigger, stronger fighter. So with that, Mackenzie Dern's kind of built up that confidence again. And now she's back to calling out the former champion Rose Namajunas. I know a little while back before the fight with Yan Xiaonan, she had called out Rose or Jessica Andrade because, again, she wanted to test herself against a former champion. But she faced that setback in Yan Xiaonan, which I was telling some people, maybe she don't need to worry about them. I know it is a good idea that she has that mindset to fight a champion, for real, because I did say that. But I didn't know that she was going to lose focus like that, you know, and just, you know, kind of focus too much on them, and then Yan Xiaonan winds up beating, right? But now she's kind of back in that mix again. She's ranked at number 7 now, right? She's ranked at number 7, so she's actually over Marina Rodriguez now. So in the mid rankings, she's in a good position to call out one of the top 5 fighters that has nobody right now, right? She's in a good position to call out a fighter. But this is what she said at the post-fight after beating Angela Hill. She basically just said, I don't know what Rose is up to, but if she's going to continue fighting, I want to fight Rose. She said, I never fought next champion. I feel like I could have that opportunity now. And again, like I said, that's something that she's pushing for, because fighting a former champion is really going to test what level she's on. Like I said, Mackenzie Dern, very focused, no quit in her, might lack some technical skills, but she never stops trying. And she wants to test that level against a champion or a former champion. And she wants to see if she can deal with that pressure and go in there and see if her skills that she's been improving on can stand up to a former champ like Rose Namajunas. Now, Rose Namajunas, on the other hand, I don't know if she wants this fight. I don't know if she's even acknowledged it or even heard about it, because, you know, she's been doing her thing as far as the ADCC Open grappling. You know, she's been doing that tournament. She came up with the bronze medal. I believe she lost to, what's his name's daughter, Denher's daughter. She's like 16-year-old. I follow her on Instagram, though. You know, she's like a very solid monster in the Brazilian jiu-jitsu world. You know, she's a very solid grappler at 16, you know, so this girl's been doing this forever. I believe, like, when I first seen her, yeah, she was like 14, 15. But since then, you know, she's like just on this other level now. She came away with the gold a couple weekends ago, and Rose, she came away with the bronze. So, yeah, Rose has just kind of been on that circuit now, competing on that level, also building up her Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So maybe Rose is on to something. Maybe she's trying to develop herself in that grappling world, you know, to prepare herself for this division and what these fighters are presenting. So we don't know, man. She could be looking. She could be watching. Pat Barry's probably looking and saying, hey, Mackenzie's calling you out. This is a good time to test out your BJJ, right? But we never know, man. Like, we never know. Rose might not have that same mindset to want to fight this level down. Maybe she's really trying to just build up that competitive spirit again. But I hope she can make a choice soon, because we do need these fighters to fight. And fighters like Mackenzie Dern, they want to be consistent. Even Marina Rodriguez, she's always been a consistent fighter, even coming off 2 losses. She wants to continue fighting. There's no quitting these fighters. Rose is in a good position right now, to continue where she's at and hold a name for herself. But if she's not really doing anything with the position, these other fighters are going to keep on gunning for a spot, whether it's Yan Xiaonan or Mackenzie Dern. Because we're looking at the rankings right now, Rose is at the number 2 spot. That's a coveted spot right now. So Mackenzie at number 7, she wants it, so she's doing right to call for it. So my thoughts on the fight, I think it's a good potential fight that can be made. You're dealing with, like I said, Mackenzie Dern, who's slowly improving, but she's got the confidence. And she's a new face right now. She's a new face. I know she's lost to fighters like Marina and Yan Xiaonan, but if she can get a win like she did this past weekend, against Angela Hill, somebody like that, and if she can go in there and give a good fight to Rose and actually win, you can't argue that. You can't argue that she just earned it. I mean, she's bringing what the division needs. I know I knock her striking, and I know I knock her technique on that, but if it's going to get her victories, the way she's fighting now, you can't knock that. You can't disrespect that, because there's no quit in the fighter. And when a fighter keeps going and they just keep trying and they're dangerous throughout the whole 3 or 4, 5 rounds of a fight, I have to respect them. And that's what separated Mackenzie Dern from Angela Hill. That was the one unwritten factor and natural ability that I kind of ignored going into the fight. I thought Angela Hill just had enough technique to go ahead and school the girl in the feet. But no, Angela Hill, she folded to Mackenzie Dern's killer instinct, where she just kept rising and rising and rising and kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger throughout the fight, and just kept beating her and beating her and beating her and never quit, right? Whereas if you see Angela Hill in a fight, she'll just kind of go through the motions. That's why she'll come up short in these decisions sometimes. There's no spike in there. There's no spike in there, whereas you got Mackenzie Dern constantly spiking. She's constantly spiking in these fights, and she'll take a break when she needs to, then she'll keep on. So that right there is a presentation of a fighter that could be dangerous to Rose, if Rose is not turned on. Because Rose definitely on the feet all day long. I pick her on the feet, whenever Rose gets into her rhythm with her striking, her footwork, all day long. But if you're forced to kind of press Mackenzie Dern to the cage, that's a lot of woman to press. You know what I mean? That's a big woman to press. So, she could force you into that type of fight. And if it goes to the ground, I know Rose is improving in her jiu-jitsu, but if Mackenzie Dern is actually turned on in this type of fight, and she's bringing that muscle that she's been bringing as of lately. If you look at her pictures, she's not really just flabby. She's bringing that muscular strength. Her body's fit. You might see her controlling Rose on the ground and submitting her. I mean, Rose has good jiu-jitsu, but we saw what Jillian Robertson was able to do. I know that was jiu-jitsu, but a grappling tournament, but we saw how quick she got submitted when it just is pure jiu-jitsu. And if Mackenzie Dern can get you down and turn it into pure jiu-jitsu and just neutralize your striking, off your back, or if she can catch you slipping or squirming, she can submit you. So, yeah, there's always that danger factor there, against any of these opponents. So the more and more Mackenzie Dern gets stronger, and more she trims her body down and starts becoming more muscular like this, and she's starting to work on her power, and she knows how to distribute her, her power and keep her balance, I think she's going to be a dangerous fighter. I think she will. And again, like I said, the no quit in her is going to keep her in these type of fights. So we'll see, man. Like I said, I just kind of want to talk this one up, because I think this fight would be a good fight. I think it would be good, because we already seen, like I said, Rose has already fought so many of the other fighters already. She's a 2-time former champ. She already fought Carla, already fought the fighters like Weili, Andrade. Let's see this fight, And if not, throw Mackenzie Dern, Jessica Andrade at this point. That's a good fight. And, I say that because, I think Mackenzie Dern actually has the potential to beat an Andrade at this point. With Andrade at number 5, by the rankings, if if you actually look at what she's bringing to the table now, she's kind of on her way down. She's kind of on a decline. So this is chess. You know, for Mackenzie Dern, she can slide in there at the top 5 spot, you know, if they give her Andrade, or she can go higher and take on Rose Namajunas. But which one do y'all want to see, guys? Who do you think Mackenzie Dern has a better chance against? I think it really depends on the focus of Rose in that type of fight, because I think Rose is more well-rounded. But if her mental isn't there, Mackenzie Dern has the chance to slide in and, you know, push her way into that fight. And if you look at the Andrade fight, I think Mackenzie has a good chance now, just because of the way Andrade's been looking, and compared to how Dern is so much bigger and how durable she is, she might give Andrade all kind of problems at this point. But either one of those would be good fights. If they make the Rose fight, I'm definitely going to be tuning into it. You know, I'll definitely update y'all if it is confirmed at some point. But yeah, let me know y'all's thoughts. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.